Now, my best guess is that there's maybe an airplane that you died on, or not that you died. I mean, obviously you're alive, but some horrific event, and the crash is what remains and what's floating to you here. And what your objective is just kind of try to survive. Now, it's a free game, still an alpha, unfortunately, but that kind of gives hopes to the future of this game, since it's so new that I'm hoping that maybe they'll actually put some new stuff into it. The only downside to this is as you probably see, as we continue down this road, it does get kind of easy as time goes on. The first phases are a bit grindy. As you can probably see, I mean, I'm pretty much isolated. I'm stuck on this raft. I can't really go anywhere. I could jump off, but I draw the struck to me. And beyond that, you're just kind of stuck here, collecting things. Now, there are ways to actually be able to collect other things as well, and not have to do the work for it. So, you can build a net. You can build a palm tree forest and kind of get a bunch of supplies that way. But at the beginning of it, you're just kind of stuck throwing out this hook and seeing what you get. Now, as you notice in the bottom right-hand corner, there's water and food, as well as a little health bar. Now, you don't really have to worry about the health bar because unless you're like going into the water trying to lure the shark to you. So yeah, it's coming toward me right now. Oh, uh-oh, there we go. There's not really a whole lot you have to worry about other than food and water. Now, in the beginning of the game, you should be able to get enough resources to be able to manage that efficiently. Now, what you need for water is you're going to need a water purifier, because obviously you're not going to get given water out here. I mean, you might get plastic. I wish that you could, actually. But what you're given is the opportunity to make a fire and through condensation get fresh water that way. So let's go to the build menu. So here's your options. These are your tools. You got a hatchet, an axe. I'm going to get that over there. Hold on. Quite a lot of thatch over there. Kind of want that. And there's another one over there. I want that as well. Thatch is pretty important in this game. It helps you build rope, and rope is the backbone to pretty much everything that you can build in this game. So it's decently important to put a pretty high priority on it. Alright, pretty soon we're going to be able to get to the build menu. Alright, so this is the hammer. This is how you build all the regular foundations and whatnot. As you can see, what I do not have built is a rope. Now, you build a rope out of getting thatch, which I will be showing you how to do in a second. After I get that wood. Oh, missed it. Alright. So you go down to the bottom here, and at the beginning, oh, there it goes. So there's the shark. I could build a spear right now, but I'm not really too worried about it at the moment. Because what I'm going to have a redundant amount of is I'm going to have a lot of wood at the beginning. As long as I pretty much get all these pieces. So I'm not too worried about losing that. I can just replace it real fast. And recommendation is to always build 2 wide. And the reason for that is mainly because of the fact that if he does destroy something and it only has 1, you will run into issues regarding... Shoot. Sorry, I had to get my water going because I'm running pretty low on water now. Now, I'm not actually sure if just place it here, why not? So how you do it is you get this out, you press E in the water, which I accidentally already did, and you just throw it on the cooker and you get some water in a little bit. It's a good idea to get at least one or maybe two of them, only because of the fact that, one, from my experience, I've only played this once so far, but from the experience that I had with it, it's quite difficult to keep your water up with only one. In fact, nearly impossible, even if you keep it on rotation. Like what I'm about to do is I'm going to wait around this thing, wait for it to finish. As you might be able to hear, I'm coughing. That's a clear indicator that you're about to die, or at least start losing health. But even with this thing on rotation, it's pretty impossible to... I'm going to build a spear right off the bat. It's pretty difficult to keep your water up and going with just that one. So it's highly recommended that you at least get two. We'll be doing that as time goes on, and we'll kind of go through the game as we go. Now this is a new game, and it's pretty exciting. The developers of the game are constantly putting up new updates because it's relatively new. It is free as well, and you don't really have to worry about having to pay anything for it. You can just go down there and download it. However, any donation does help. I'm a developer as well, and I do know from my experience that nothing really gets done without money, and although they can put their heart and soul into it, updates may not come, or may not come as fast as you would like if they don't have the money to be able to fund it. Because one developer with a game like this can take quite a long time to get like any little thing through, just because of the quantity of the amount of code that you had to actually put in. So any donation does help, if you do want to do that. If not, I mean, getting it out there, kind of getting an idea to everybody else that this game is out there, also does help because popularity is another thing that can contribute. You can get sponsors and etc. So as you can probably tell, I'm starting to get low on water as well. Again. See, and as you can probably already tell, it's very difficult for me, even on rotation, to be able to keep my water up. And it can be very distracting as well, having to always worry about your water and then trying to collect all the stuff at the same time. So highly recommended that you get two, which is what we will be doing in a couple seconds here. So that way we don't really have to worry too much about focusing on getting water all the time. I'll put that right next to the other one. Pull our little cup out, press E, put it on the cooker, ready to go. Now the shark is coming back, as you probably see. It wasn't a very good idea. As you can probably tell, if you have your hook out, you cannot actually attack the shark. 3 pokes and he's gone though, so it's not too bad at the beginning. The raft does take a little bit of damage for it though, and you can repair it. I'm not actually sure if it's worth it to repair it at a certain point, because floors only cost 2 wood and 1 rope, and depending on the health of it, it can actually cost you more than what you put into it to just make a brand new one. So I'm not really sure if it's worth it to repair or not. My experiences so far is just kind of let it die unless it's important to you. But then you do have to keep your eye on it as well, because you need to make sure not to have the issue that I was going to describe before, which is if you have a 1x1 and it's not connected to any other piece of the raft, like the starter raft, which is over there next to the water, if it's not connected to these 4 tiles and it dies, even if it's one and then just like a massive platform over there, the whole platform will just disappear. A bit unfortunate, I will have to say myself. I would kind of prefer that it wasn't that way. I kind of wish like maybe it would like start floating away or something, I don't know. But that's just the game, I guess. Now, my experience as well is it's probably a good idea to get a fishing pole pretty early on. Food can be an issue. You can get potatoes and whatnot and start doing that kind of route. However, it can be quite straining. It doesn't really give you a whole lot to just get potatoes all the time. However, keep in mind you cannot do anything else if you are fishing. You can collect things, but you can't toss your hook. You can't go into your inventory. So it can be kind of easy to miss supplies that way, but it's worth investing into pretty early on in the game, so you don't really have to worry about your food or anything else. Which we will build a cooker now. She's coughing again. Low on water. Now, as you can probably see, keeping my water up and worrying about everything else can be a little bit straining, as well as having to collect all the supplies and all the other building and all the other nonsense that you have to do. So pretty soon here we're going to be starting to build some item collectors, the little nets that go into the water. They are pretty useful, to be honest with you. And I'll show you why as well. Now there is a certain limit that you don't have to build anymore. Once again, too wide, magic. Now, my recommendation is trying to figure out where the very edge of the item is and trying to build inward. So right now mine is right here. Now, it can go all the way out to there sometimes as well, but I like to start from the outside and go inwards because you're more than likely going to be around... you're more than likely going to be around the center most of the time anyway. So probably a good idea to build the nets where you're not really going to pay much attention to them, like over here off to the side. And that's mainly just because of the fact it's to help you out a little bit. That's the reason why they're there. And it's a good idea to build in that way as well. Oh, I can't get it. As you can see, if you just let it do its thing, it will start collecting them for you. Now the grind begins. The slow and steady grind. Now we got a palm seeds as well. Those would be extremely useful in the later phases of the game. And the reason for that is because palm trees have a massive return. Not only do they actually give you wood, they give you thatch, they also give you coconuts. Now the coconuts themselves, what they give you is they give you more palm seeds. It drops 4 coconuts per palm tree. Come on. They drop 4 coconuts per palm seed, or per palm tree, when you cut it down. And that means that you get to build 4 more, or rather an increase of 3 palm trees, per every single palm tree that you build, as long as you have the wood and the thatch for it. So it's a massive return. So once you get that going, which we're going to try and get it up pretty early here, it'll help you considerably to try and do that. Now, trying to collect all the resources is very difficult to be able to micromanage like this, but I think that we're doing a pretty decent job, to be honest with you. I just want to get the foundation started of my collecting so I don't really have to worry about it. My zone of worry is getting a lot smaller as time goes on. which is very useful to me. Now I really only have to worry about this section, while that section collects the rest for me. Unfortunately, this game is not co-op. Bit disappointing there. It'd be a lot easier to be able to manage everything that's going on with 2 people instead of just 1. But it is manageable to do just with just 1. You just have to kind of be resourceful, think about what we want to do, and if you're new to the game, just kind of experiment a little bit. It's not a bad thing to die. Just see what works for you. What works for me is to build these little 2x2 all the way across and get like a little plane module going on. And just start building this way and just only focus on like 1 or 2 tiles. So it's basically like I have 2 people because this is collecting everything from this angle while I collect everything over here. So it's not impossible to do by yourself. Definitely manageable. You just have to use your resources wisely. Now what we will start doing is we will start building palm trees over here. You don't want to build them too far away, and the reason for that is because you want to keep everything pretty much. You want to be as resourceful as you can in the early games, the early part of the game, and the reason for that is because at the beginning phases you don't really have a whole lot of resources that you can really manage with. And it's nice to just do with what you can. He's coming back. You can usually tell when he's coming back because the only time that he'll actually swim directly at your raft is when he's about to attack it. 1, 2, 3, and he's gone. And you may have noticed, why would I build all the way out here when I don't really have to do it yet? I don't have the nets. Well, I don't like to use my hook all the time. I mean, it can be a little bit tedious to have to use your hook every single turn. So if you build it wide enough at the start, you can just kind of run back and forth and not have to worry about anything. Which is kind of useful. Now we're getting a little bit low on food. Now I really wish that fishing was that fast in real life. That'd be really nice. Just a quick 1, 2. Catch a fish, move on with your life. Okay. Things are starting to come out a little bit wider, which isn't bad. Definitely manageable. As long as I'm paying attention. Now there is a certain limit, however. You don't have to build this so wide. I can't remember the exact number. I know that there is a certain number of tiles that you have to go out. And then beyond that, you don't really have to worry about it anymore. I don't remember what that number is. I think it was something around 17? Possibly 18. I think it's 9 that way, and then 9 that way, from the very center of your raft. And I'm pretty sure that captures everything. I could be wrong. I don't remember the exact number, but I do know it's something like that. So that's what we're going to try and do as we play. We're going to try and reach that number. See. Almost missed that one. So I think that one more on this side should be enough. And then we can call it good on this side. So what that was, I think this is the center. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think, see, no, there's one more over there. So probably, yeah, probably 8 should be enough. Oh, this one. Always too wide. So that entire side is watched. I never have to worry about that side again. I can just every once in a while occasionally go over there, get my stuff that I need to build, and then just go about my way. As you can probably see, we're running out of space though. That does become an issue fairly quickly, to be honest with you. It depends on if you want to organize or not. Not really required for you to organize if you don't want to. I like to. So that's what we're going to do in this little stream. So we will be organizing. Oh, here he comes again. Because it can be quite messy if you do not. I think that's where we're going to start. We're going to start right here and just kind of go this way a little bit. And this is going to be our little storage spot. Let's build one. Now, chest does cost a little bit. Entirely worth it though. There is a glitch, however, and I will describe that glitch in a little bit. I'm not entirely sure if the creator of this game desires that to be in this game or not, and I will show you what it is in a little bit. But very useful. And that glitch is you can access it from all the way over here, pretty far away. Don't know if that's actually part of the game or not. They might actually patch that out in the future ones. But at the moment, you can snipe your box from across the way and just kind of deposit things into it. You don't actually have to be right next to it, like I am right now. Now, once again, I do not know if that's actually part of the game or not. I'd imagine not, because that seems like a very odd thing to have. But it is currently, so do with that what you will. Place our other one down. We do have 2. I do like to separate these just a little bit. And the reason for that is, I think that we're missing one, yeah. We're missing a couple things. Let's get it all. There we go. Let's start building over here. Now, I think that usually depositing the scrap is probably the most valuable thing to do at this early part of the game. It can be a little bit encumbersome, and you can get a ridiculous amount of it quite quickly. So, pretty important to just kind of put it away. You will need it in the future, but as for now, I don't really think that you need it for these early game steps. Go fishing a little bit. Nope. Yeah, if you pull it up too early, you're not actually going to get anything. You have to wait till the bobbery goes down. And you'll hear it too, so you don't really have to watch it. Like, I can just not really pay attention to it. Yeah, right there. Got another one. Because you can kind of micromanage that way as well. because it's a very unique sound. Everything else is pretty much sounds the same, but that does sound uniquely different, so you don't really have to pay attention to it. Let's go around here for a second. So this one's 30 health. You know, I will repair that just to show you. It does require a decent amount of wood, and I don't know if it's worth it yet. I seem to just kind of give up on it and just ignore the fact that it even exists and the fact that it got damaged. Because as you can probably already tell, the amount of wood I just had to invest into that to repair was much more than I would like to invest. Oh, come on, not now. Now you can kill the shark, however, like that. There we go. If you do kill the shark, however, what it does do is it does spawn another one. Now, the new one is a bit of a hit and miss. It can be stronger, and sometimes it can be weaker as well. So in that short amount of time, he was able to do 50 damage. I will repair it, just so I don't have to worry about it anymore. Now, this one, the new one that's in the water, he might do more damage than his brother. Oh, we do need a bit out here. Okay. There we go. Now it captures everything, I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it captures everything. Maybe one more, just for the sake of it, just in case. There we go. I feel pretty confident now that it's going to collect everything on that side. Now, like I was saying, the shark, if you do kill him, like I have, you get a bit of a toss-up. You can get one that actually does less damage, from my experience. That could be hallucinating about that. I could be completely making that up. Maybe it's just like, maybe I'm just there on time compared to other times. But in my experience, sorry, a bit of a hiccup there. Whenever I kill the shark, I feel as though sometimes he doesn't do as much. And I'm not sure if that's actually in the game or not. If it's like a randomizer in damage. Or if it always does the same amount. But the last stream that I did, where I first played this game, the shark that I was facing, I think it was like the second or third time around, did like nothing to my raft. And then I killed him, and I was kind of sad about that. I was like, well, you know, he's a little weakling, and he's kind of helping me out by being so weak. And I killed him. And his brother spawned in like about 4 seconds, 3 to 4 seconds. Like I ran from here to maybe to where those boxes are, like 1 Mississippi, 2, 3, maybe 4, and bam, I was on him. He almost killed one in that time. Now I don't know if maybe I just don't know. It's a bit of a theory of mine. I'm not sure if it's actually true or not, but I do think it's possible that some of the sharks do a little bit more damage than the others, and some do less. How many? Now, your nets are going to be one of the most important things that you have. I will say that. Coming later parts of the game, when you have to start beating down palm trees and getting wood and all the other stuff, they become pretty important. And as you can probably already tell, they are already important to me. But the reason why they become pretty important late game is because it becomes very difficult to actually focus on these nets all the time and protect them, because your base can get decently large. Now, I'm going to try and not make my base too large so I can actually manage when the shark comes like he is now. Let's see how much he does. See, in that short amount of time, he already did 35 damage. Anyway, now, what was I going to say? Oh, right, yeah. So, your base can become decently big. Now, I'm going to try and make it as small as I can, because I don't want to have too much to manage, to be honest with you. However, because of the size of your base, it can take a little bit to get from one spot to the other. Now, the downside to that is he could kill a net of yours because he has direct access to this. He can only attack the outside ones. He can't attack anything that's on the inside. So what we're going to try and do, in order to prevent the shark from attacking the outside, is we're going to build around it. Now, the pieces will still go underneath the raft and be caught by the nets. These nets will still capture everything that passes by, but on top of that, they'll be protected. So we're just going to kind of do this to it. And that way, if the outside one does die, our net was not the thing that died. And everything that was in it doesn't get re-released to the ocean. I'll have to go, tossing out the hook, hoping to get it, maybe jumping in, put myself at risk. You just don't want it. So, oh god damn it. Now, to avoid that, you want to protect it, because you can just ignore all of that and avoid everything that happened by just building around it, taking a little bit of resources, a little bit of rope, and just investing a little bit. I'm not really sure, like, this one had to go out so far. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This one had to go 10 wide. Do I really have to go 10 wide this way as well? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You see, I'm not really sure if maybe this is the spawn point right here, and you're just 9 wide both ways. I'm not really sure if it's centralized, to be honest with you. I do know last time, in order to capture everything, it had to be 18 wide. I do remember that. Now, whether or not the spawn point is actually in the middle or not, I'm not entirely sure about that. Toss our food in there. And now we play the waiting game. I wonder if I can actually toss this hook at the shark. Maybe can I reel in the shark? Now, I've been able to reel in everything else. I'm going to give it a go. I'm actually going to try and get the shark with this hook. I want to see if I can get him. Because I know I can spear him to death. Can I throw the spear? No, I cannot. Can I hook this guy? Looks like he's actually already coming to me. So we'll try it again when he tries to leave. Maybe we can reel him back in. Alright. Let's repair this real fast because I want to deal with it. Where'd he go? Where'd he go? Oh, there he is. Hey, let's go get him. Oh, I don't know if that counted. Because it went right behind him, I think. We're going to give it a go again. I think if I add one more here, just for the redundancy. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's just say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15. We're already at 15 wide. I'm not sure if that's enough or not. I don't think it is. Yeah, we're pretty much capturing everything. Alright, let's try and lure in the shark in the meantime. Here he comes. He's going to make his way this way just like last time. You know what we're going to do? We're going to pre-toss it out. Oh, not quite further enough, actually. No, we will get him. I swear to God. I mean, obviously we're going to kill him eventually. Just because that's the way of the game. But I do want to know if I can reel him in. Here he goes. This is a good guess. Here we go. Here we go. You know, I'm not actually sure if I hit him or not. I'm actually very confused. I just want to know. Can I capture a shark? That one almost missed. I think I'm going to build one more, and I think that should be maybe enough, because... Oh, here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go. Oh, I feel like that went through him. I don't think you can reel him in. Unfortunate. You know, it's a nice experiment. Just see if you can or not. But the answer is clearly no. Bit unfortunate. Yeah, we'll film these two and that's about it, I guess. That's what we'll do. Javelin toss to reel him in. No. You know, he's just too fast. Let alone, just very difficult to try and do anything with him. We'll film these last two just for the redundancy. I don't actually know if we need them or not. But I will do it just in case, because I don't want to have to worry about missing supplies. The supplies that the game has given us. You know, I feel like that goes through him. I mean, I can obviously attack him. If I lure him to me... he just continues his route. That's it. Unfortunate. One more. And we're going to start building our palm trees right there. And then I think we'll be pretty well off. And here he comes again. See, this is why you surround your base. Because now he can't actually attack my nets, which is very important to me. Alright, net's complete. Let's start building our palm tree forest. Now, when you build the palm tree forest, they do take a little bit to get going. This is sniper little thing over there. They do take a little bit to grow. But one palm seed is enough per plot. And the idea is you do have options. You can build these little windows here. You can rotate them around, do whatever you want. Now, the thing that you want to do, in my opinion, from what I've been seeing so far, is you want to build windows around them. Now, you don't want to build them on the ground floor, though, because if you build your trees on the ground floor and it gets attacked, you won't really be able to protect it at all. However, you do have another option. You can build stairs. Now, the stairs are a little bit wide, do take up quite a bit of space, but it is worth it. You need 3 little tiles to build the stairs. Now, remember to always build 2 wide. But if you build up stairs, the cool thing about it is not only can you entirely surround the complex with windows or walls, so you don't have to worry about coconuts falling into the water and all the other nonsense. The other benefit is that you can be on the ground floor and protect your raft from the shark. And the reason why that's important is obviously because of the fact that you don't want him to eat away a tile where there is a palm tree thing on it, because if he does eat it, you lose your palm tree, you lose the crop plot, which actually does cost quite a bit. It does cost 8 wood and 4 rope, and those do go quite fast after you start building them. So you do want to protect them a little bit, and it's best just to put them on the ceiling, in my opinion. That way you can protect, you can defend, you can get your coconuts, which after that you really don't have to worry about food or water anymore. You can just drink coconuts for the rest of your life out here on the ocean. You don't really have to worry about wood per se. Once you get about, I'm going to say like 8, 9 palm trees, you don't really have to worry about wood anymore. The big one becomes that, or scrap metal. And that's about it, which is why we've been oh, not that one, this one. We've been saving all of our scrap that we ever get, and we put it in there. And we protect it with 1 foundation, so we don't have to worry about it getting attacked or mauled by the shark. In the meantime, I'm going to do a little bit of farming, and we'll continue the stream a bit later.